Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Hike 365 Live. This is the world's finest St. Louis hiking show, and we're here to talk about our challenge to hike 1 mile per day for 1 year. You're watching Happy Trails Hiking.
Hi, everybody. Look, the finest.
That's right, the finest St. Louis hiking show. That's right.
Nice. Okay. Sounds like we're going to have a conference next week. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Did you plan it?
No.
Okay, good. All right, no conference
not at all.
next week.
Not at all. But thanks for checking. Anyway, so this is our second show of 2020, and we are excited to share some new things with you, or the same new things we had last week, but we want to say them again. So we do want to let you know that our show is brought to you by our patrons on patreon.com, and those patrons are Panic D, Our Haunted Travels, Nerding for Nature, Pam Huff, and Needs More Subs. As a patron, you will get behind the scenes photos and video from parks and trails that we hike, and a written credit at the end of our upcoming videos. And you can find that subscription at patreon.com/Happy Trails Hiking. And I will put that in the chat for you. So, what's up next? You're next.
All
You're
right.
next.
So, if you have not said hello in the chat yet, we would invite you to do so. And as you check in with the chat, we'd also like to know what you are drinking this evening. Perhaps you have a lovely glass of H2O on the rocks. Perhaps you have some coffee. Perhaps you have something a little stronger. I happen to have Schlafly's IPA tonight.
I can't see it.
I can't see it. Oh, that's
Well,
true.
they can.
It is
It's
hidden
covered up.
inside of a
Koozie.
but it is not hidden anymore. This is actually a little bit cloudy for an IPA, but it doesn't taste that way. I'm not a big fan of the hazy IPA fad, but at any rate, let us know what you got. I see we have some raspberry tea from River at Skippy and some lemon water from Food Forest Culture. What else do we have?
Permaculture, yes.
Oh, okay. I can't read.
And Diet Root Beer from Texas Hikeaholics. And I do want to say hello to everybody in the chat.
Yes.
So can I do that? Marty's Crew, Our Family Adventures is here. Texas Hikeaholics, Laurie Bryant, River Rat Skippy, Food Forest Permaculture, Alpine Gulch. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. As well as YouTube Critics is here and asks, what is this? And Laurie's answering him in the bottom. But this is our Hike 365 challenge, and we're happy that everybody's here. Hike with Mike is here, and he's in his tent in his swamp.
Outstanding.
Watching. So that is awesome. Within hiking distance is here as well as the Beerbellied Travelers. So, if you, like I said, like Matt said, if you haven't said hello, we would love to have you do that so we can say hi back to you. We do want to let you know that we also have some guests for you for the show tonight. We want to make sure that they can hear us and see us. I'm trying to connect with them right now. Dana and Eileen, can you hear us? We really want to get you on the screen.
I'm not sure if our internet's working.
Well, I hope our internet's working.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you just fine.
Oh, well,
You
good.
don't have to yell.
Can you hear me now? For those of you who might not know, this is Dana and Eileen, the Beerbellied Travelers, and they're our friends. Oh, I'm repping the shirt. Whoops.
Right.
So they're our actual friends in real life.
It's true.
But we did meet through YouTube like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's been a fun run so far, and they're from Michigan, and they thought they escaped the cold.
We thought we did.
Yeah, but it's been 18 degrees.
We
today.
escaped the snow, but not the cold.
Yeah.
I think more accurate.
Yeah, pretty much. So they might not know some of you, so make sure that you tell us where you're from, because that would be very cool. And I noticed that Food Forest Permaculture put up there, hello from Vancouver. Jeez, oh Pete. Vancouver Island, British Columbia. And I hear that you might be getting a prince soon. Are they moving to your house, Howie? Just asking. All right. And Marty's Crew says that we've got some good connection here.
Yeah, it's really great.
Really
The internet.
Really good.
Just like
Upload, download.
It's pretty
Almost like
interesting.
being in real life.
Real life. Exactly. All right. And Laurie Bright says she's drinking iced tea. All right. Want to remind you to share this with other folks because, tomorrow is a holiday for some people here in the U.S. and they can stay up late tonight. So don't feel bad about sharing it out. Hit the like button. It lets YouTube know that you like what we're doing. That helps. So, yeah. And you're going to go over the rules because we have new
Okay.
rules this year because we have prizes.
All right. So, for those of you new to the challenge, or if you're returning from the challenge, we want to repeat the basic rules to the competition or event, as it were. So, don't fret. There's nothing very difficult here at this hour in the evening. I can't handle anything
try to
too
not make it
challenging.
hard.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
basically, what we want to do with this activity is encourage folks to take a walk, take a hike in a public land of some description.
Can they jog?
It can be a jog, it can be a run,
Gallop.
it can be a gallop.
Yes.
Yes. It can be
Could they
a
skip?
city
I
park.
was
You
just
can
gonna say-
skip through the tulips in a county park.
Oh.
It can be a state park. It could be a national park. It could be a conservation area. But we just would like for you to,
What if they're going hunting?
well, if you hike to get there to your hunting spot and it's on public land,
Fishing?
yes, fishing, that counts too.
Okay.
But the key is to count the miles that you travel on 2 feet as you embark on your walk in the woods.
Falling down
Or
a
in
hill
the
does
desert.
not count.
You're a
You
nature
know
buff.
what? If you
Doesn't
roll
count.
down a hill in public land, you can count whatever mileage your GPS registers, and that would be perfectly acceptable. I would
Well, you
encourage
do a
you to
slow-mo
walk
of it.
as opposed to roll down the hill, as walking would be safer.
Again, when we get together with these two, we have no fun. I
it's
don't
terrible.
even know why they want to come visit
She
us.
won't stop yelling at us. It's been hard.
Starving.
Starving.
So,
we never eat
but-
good food.
No.
So go ahead and count the miles that you log on foot in public lands. And if you've been there before, it doesn't matter. If you get up and you do the same run every morning, count those miles too, as long as it's on public land. We don't care. It's all good. Also, we are going to do a giveaway. I imagine most of you know by now that we have recently become members of the ambassador program with Teton Sports. And as part of that relationship, they are going to provide some piece of outdoor gear that we will give away at the end of the year to a participant in this program.
Yes.
So what we're
Giving
going to
away
do
things.
is put virtual tickets in a virtual hat and hold a drawing at the end of the year. And you can get entered in this drawing in 2 different ways. One of those ways is to submit miles for the week. And I think a lot of folks here have done that. And if you
Gosh.
haven't done it, then there's a form that Kay can hook you up with. And it's just
Yep.
simple. You put in a couple, 3 pieces of information and you'll see your name and your mileage on the screen here in a bit.
Lori did put the form into the chat to enter into the challenge, which gives you your email address so I can send you forms. That's it.
Okay.
I
So
don't bombard you with emails.
So you can get up to 1 of those tickets per week when you submit miles within a given 7-day time frame. The other way that you can do that is to put a comment onto the recording of the live stream. So after the show, put a comment on the video and tell us what you loved or that you think my hair is horrible or whatever. Don't care. Throw a comment on there, and that'll get you a second ticket into the virtual hat.
Right. So Jay Reed Outdoors says he wants to win the virtual hat.
We can probably make that happen.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What virtual color would you like?
What type of hat?
Right.
Top hat? Are we talking?
Well, obviously.
Well, it's virtual,
that's
so
not
the
obvious.
definition of the hat may morph as the year progresses. We shall see.
Okay.
All
right.
I got nothing.
So Matt's covered the rules.
Hair looks great though.
Your hair looks great, especially from the back.
Yes.
Hey, what are
yes.
you guys drinking tonight, Beerbellied
Yes,
Well,
we
Travelers?
why
did
don't
not.
you go first?
Thunder Gong
Thunder Gong by
from
Crane.
Crane
Yeah.
Brewing. It's a 5.0
Yeah.
ABV, and it's a wheat beer.
Yes. And I
Thank
have,
you, Matt.
Good job, Vanna.
Thank you, Matt White.
Matt White.
I have Velvet Underground by Heavy Riff, which, interestingly enough, we went to yesterday
Yes.
with them. So I have
Awesome
that beer.
brewery.
It was awesome. Great vibe.
Nice. Okay. And I have rosé from Mendocino County, California. It's rosé-ish.
And pleasant.
It's pleasant. Very pleasant.
Yes.
And Jay Reed Outdoors says virtual camo, so you can't see him virtually. Well played. Well played, Justin. All right. And Laurie says that she wants to see a name come out of a virtual hat, like the Goblet of Fire. So that's a lot of CG.
a lot of work.
And I
I have a real Goblet of Fire.
Oh, it would burn up though. We would never have a name out of it.
Well, we can throw one in. How's that?
Well, it would never come out. Oh, hello, within hiking distance. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. It's great to see you. Thanks. So they're from hiking out in Idaho. We just watched Idaho the movie.
It's still on pause.
It's
Yes.
on pause.
Yes, we have paused
Yeah.
Idaho
Oh,
the movie too.
And I guess I did not say hello to Chris Oconee either. Hello, Chris Oconee. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming. All right. We have miles and maps. Are we ready? So I'm super excited because we got a ton of miles. And I want to show you the map because we're out of Florida. Just saying. Last week, the first 2 weeks, we got 200 and something miles.
Mhm.
And then last week, we got another 200 and something miles. So that got, wrong thing. That got us out over the, I got too many tabs again. Anybody see a map on that one? Map.
Okay.
Me neither.
Well, while Kay's looking for the
Yeah,
map,
we'll look
if
for
you
the
haven't
map.
seen it before, what we do is we take all the miles throughout the year and we sum them up. And every week we'll show you how far all of us have hiked together throughout the year at that point in time. So now on your screen, you should be seeing that we have started this virtual collaborative hike down in Miami, Florida. And we have gone at least 400 miles and we have made it to Jacksonville.
No, we're above
We have made it
Jacksonville's
past
over there.
Jacksonville. Okay.
We made it just into Georgia. So
We
good
made it-
hiking, everybody.
We made it left of Jacksonville.
Wow.
Left of Jacksonville. Yes, we're actually at 421 miles this for the total for the year. So that's very exciting. I don't know what they're saying, but you're still on screen.
Oh, well.
That's fine. We're moving. Okay, that's fine. So we have lots of rearranging going on. It's fun.
Musical chairs.
It's all good. So we have lots of spots. So the within hiking distance is hiking up here in northern Idaho, and Kenny from the Idahonian is hiking down here in central Idaho.
Southernish.
And we have some folks that have hiked in Utah and at Lake Mead and Oklahoma, Osage Hills State Park. And then us, this is all our hiking miles. And then Justin from J Reed Outdoors, Laurie Bryant's hiked over here. This would be the Beerbellied Travelers before they came to visit us.
Yep.
Steph Outside's over here in Toronto. We got some folks hiking over here on the coast. And then Cliff Risers and Shannon Riser are down here. And the Florida Trail. That might have been Picky. I don't know. Anyway, so we're getting a lot of dots on the map. Texas Hikeaholics are representing Texas down here. So we're doing really well. This was a fun map this week. So there is that. Done
420
with
miles.
421. So that is cool. And you want me to now show the spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, everybody's favorite part.
I thought the map was our favorite part.
Well, the map's our favorite part too.
Yes.
It's okay to have more than one favorite part.
It's true.
It's a favorite. All right, there we go. There's our spreadsheet. So spreadsheet looks like that.
And so obviously your team name is in the left column. And the second column here shows what we have recorded that has been logged since the last time we did this. So basically within the past week, what miles have been recorded.
Yeah.
And so this week, all of us together went 137 miles. I'll go ahead and write up that last
137.
100th.
Yeah, 100th there. I do have a question about Mike Rager here getting 0.
That must be I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll
'Cause
look at the spreadsheet.
He has some miles.
That is probably an error on my part.
That's all right.
If I had to guess.
I know that Mike has some miles. He plugged them in. Let's see. I can even look. Oh well.
So that's probably my error. I'll look into
Okay,
it. Carry
thank
on.
you for that. I appreciate that a lot. So anyway, Alexandra from within hiking distance, 1.6. And then Barbara with the Texas Hikeaholics is at 11. Cliff Riser's at 27.5. Dana and Eileen are at 8 for this week. Happy Trails Hiking is at 3. John Moore is at 10.5. Justin, and that's with J Reed Outdoors, is at 27.85. That's
Wow.
awesome. That's great. You and Cliff Riser are our top
That's crazy.
hikers this week. Lori Bryant's at 2.1. Russ and Karen are at 6. Nancy Syme, I would guess, is at almost 7. Steph Outside is 11.65. Kenny the Idahonian is at 7, and that's our total is basically 137. So that is awesome to have everybody. That's a lot of miles. Great work, and I'm really pleased.
That's awesome.
That's
Okay. And I just side note, I have corrected the error. What was
Okay.
the error that you observed?
it was Michael Rager,
Okay, he currently has 10.9 miles in my latest.
10.9.
And there were also a couple of other corrections that I made, and those will be represented next week.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. It is all manual things that we do here. So pardon any errors that we make. We do try to do our best to get everything correct, but everything gets done manually.
Yes.
So Matt's copy pasting and putting things in, and on the map I'm putting things in, and everything. That's just the way it goes some nights. Blended Whiskey is here, and Deb Shane has come in. Hello, it's good to see both of you. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here. For those of you who might not know, we've got guests with us. Normally
Hi,
we
guys.
have to have virtual guests. I have to flip between screens for those, but these are the Beerbellied Travelers, and they said hello up at the top of the chat. But if you haven't gone over and visited their channel, or basically their Instagram, because
Currently, yes.
yeah, Eileen's Instagramming like bonkers crazy, and Oberon, of course.
Always.
He
Yes, he's
always
a talkative
has.
boy.
He is a talkative puppy dog.
For those who have not met Oberon, he is a husky and he has a wonderful Facebook page, and he will tell you just all kinds of good things.
It is, yeah. He's quite a
He's currently making demands. It's getting a little aggressive, but
kind of.
Well, and his vocabulary is quite impressive. I'm just amazed.
He really likes playing catch,
he does.
and he has demanded balls
And cookies.
and cookies.
And he got cookies today.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Oberon, if you're listening, we have cookies.
Cookies are on the way.
We're
sending
worried,
them.
we're worried if he's listening.
That
His
would
whole
be a little
ears are
scary,
perked.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yes.
but such is life.
And Deb Shane says, woohoo, cool to see them. So, and the Idahonian is here. Hey, Kenny, it's good to see you. And Chris Oconee says, you have an awesome Instagram feed.
Thank
She
you
does.
very much.
She does. It's an amazing one. And Laurie just shared it there in the chat. So thank you for that,
Thanks,
Laurie.
Laurie.
Appreciate that. All right. I'm off my game again. All right. So we shared our miles. I broke your chair. Just
Oh.
saying. There's a screw on the floor now. Don't step on.
Okay, well, I haven't fallen over yet.
If
I
Matt-
fall over, it's because Kay broke my chair.
We do have a screw loose, and that is not surprising.
That's
Okay.
true too.
All right. Map, spreadsheet, announce total miles, show line on map. I did that. Great job. Yay. All right. Show
All right.
pictures.
Photos, yeah.
Photos. So we have lots of photos this week, but not as many as last week. I did have someone mention that I probably needed to shorten things up, so we're going to try and go a little quicker this week. Mike Greger did share a picture from his hike in Zion.
Beautiful.
And it is beautiful. Mike, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. It has a few, actually. I think we have a picture of this, Matt, when we were there, only there was water coming down.
Is that from one of the bus stops?
Yes, it
It
is.
certainly
It's
seems that
At the
way.
very beginning of the trail to the Narrows.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's at the bus stop is right over here on
Yep, to
this
the left.
side.
I know it looks familiar.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
definitely.
And then yeah, there's the walk to the Narrows. That's just gorgeous. Thank you for sharing those, Mike. We love Zion. So one of our happy places. And you guys
Yeah,
we
we
love
love
Zion.
went there on your honeymoon?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very fun. So we have more. Promise. Laurie sent in photos. She went on a hike today and she saw some deer. And she went on a ranger hike. And Laurie keeps finding these really cool
Yeah, it was awesome.
state park ranger hikes. She found them for first day hike and then one for that week, the rest of the week that she was off. And now she found another one. So, but yeah, this was a great one.
Was it
a
warmer than
lake.
18 degrees, Laurie?
It was 34, if I remember correctly.
She said it was
34,
cold,
yeah.
but the sun was out. So that we found that helped a lot today for us too.
Yeah, it made a big difference.
So very pretty.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. This is a very swampy area.
Yeah, it's a nice looking park, though.
It is a good looking
She
park.
said it was south of Nashville?
South of Nashville, yeah.
Mhm.
That's
And
awesome.
so got some deer going on. Very pretty, Lori. Thanks for sending those in.
The deer's name is Herman.
Herman.
Oh, she
Herman the
names
deer.
everything.
Weren't they lady deer?
Who knows, Herman?
Permanent the deer.
Within
Come on.
hiking distance says I didn't share pictures because it's just snow all over pretty much. That's funny. They're up in northern Idaho, so lots of snow.
Lot of snow.
So
Gotcha.
very good. And Lori said Long Hunter State Parks, and she also said Tennessee State Parks does a really good job at having events. And you follow along on their Facebook page, I would guess. Missouri State Parks do a great job at that too.
Yeah.
They come up with lots of things for people to do, and even during the work week,
Yeah.
they do. So that's awesome. So great pictures for everybody. And the deer is Herman from now on. High five.
Well, there we are.
There you go. Thanks, Marty. Don't encourage. No, it's great. We've had a good time this weekend. And I think the next pictures are yours actually. So, or Matt, no, yours. That's fine. Chrome tab, that one.
Stand by for pictures.
There we go.
and
So yesterday we went to St. Louis Arch. We had to take them up. They'd never been there.
Yes.
So, but we got there before it opened. So this is us walking around on the arch grounds, and there are trails around the arch. We got in a mile or so, and it had rained like the Dickens,
Yeah,
Like
we had a
our
fair amount of
neighbors,
rain
yes.
last week.
and cool reflection in the puddle. So yes. So there's that one. All right, I gotta stop sharing that one and make it go away. And that one's nice, but it's not shared, so now I gotta go share it. So much going on here.
A lot of clicking.
A lot of clicking.
You could get click steps in.
I could get click steps in.
Wow.
So this is our favorite park, and we had to show it to Dana and
It
Eileen
was
today.
amazing.
That was great.
So this is Klondike Park, which is one of those places that Matt and I go all the time. It's very close to our house, and but bless you, we walked around the lake, and it was a silica quarry or a sand quarry. And this lake it's a man-made lake. So anyway, we had a good time out in the very, very cold.
It was a very nice hike, though. It was very
It
good.
was.
Yep.
And initially, when we got into the trail here, we had thought that was like a dusting of snow, and we hadn't seen snow since being here. But it's very glistening white silica sand. It's
Sparkly.
beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
Trying to type and talk at the same time. So that one's done. That's good. We got a couple new people in. DIY Solar Homestead is here. Hey, Sarge, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time, but thanks for coming. And they need to go down. Okay, so Jay Reed Outdoors from Illinois, and they're like, we need to go down and you need to get your national park stamp for the Gateway Arch. There we go.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So, and St. Louis Arch looks so pretty. Make me want to go. Yes, you should come.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's
Yeah,
really
it
amazing.
was
And we're
really
going to
cool.
talk about their experience at the Arch here in just a little bit. We got a couple more pictures though. Actually, two more pictures. And they are from they're from the Texas Alcoholics, I believe.
Yes.
These pictures are from. So last two pictures, one here, Matt's like, what's going on? Lots of clicking. Sorry. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
It's
it's gorgeous.
amazing. Yeah, it's a great picture.
Look, You know, we were
Did
talking.
they say what river it
We
is
were
or anything?
asking where it
So
was.
they hiked at Seminole Canyon and Kickapoo Caverns
Oh,
State
yes.
Parks.
Okay.
So those were the two places that they hiked. But I don't know what river this is. I guess I could zoom in.
Rio Grande.
It's
All
a
right.
Rio Grande. Yay! Very nice. We wondered. Thank you very much, Texas Hikeaholics, for putting that in. That's beautiful. You know, we were talking earlier about Idaho and how we never imagined it looking that way. It's all potatoes. But
Seriously.
well,
What you think of?
you
Yeah.
know,
The association.
Kenny the Idahonian and within hiking distance have taught me a lot about Idaho in the last year or so.
Mhm.
But I forget that Texas looks this way.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
so all right, one more picture.
Yeah, I'm looking
One
forward
more
to
picture.
getting pictures from Texas this year.
Right. Well, I'm learning so much about our country. And last one right here. Nope, that one. There we go. See, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
Wow.
really pretty.
That's amazing. And there's a building over there. But anyway, that's amazing.
For sure.
And it says thank you. And beautiful photos. Yes, that's part of what I love about this activity so much is that we keep finding out new places to hike and new places that we're like, oh, I want to go there.
Yeah.
And I always know that I want to go places, but I want to go and see everything.
Yeah,
but
you get re-inspired when you see others
Well,
doing
yeah,
it
there's so
too.
many hidden gems around
So many. Yeah.
the United States, like Idaho. Like, I mean, who would have thought?
yeah, right. And Matt, you had a couple pictures that you wanted to share.
Yeah,
Yes?
I've got.
Okay.
They're
right. I'll get those.
not as good as what we just saw, but interesting nonetheless.
All right,
certainly
so this one's sideways. So sorry, but that's how he sent it to me.
okay, so we're sort of going to segue into our weekend activities a little bit here.
Here, I can flip
but,
it maybe.
Obviously, based on my intro, if you didn't before, you now
There.
know that we're in the St. Louis area. And what you're looking at here is a sticker that is on top of the ceiling inside the very top of the Gateway Arch. And so this tells you that that level of the ceiling is 629 feet and 8.5 inches above ground. And so, you know, you can put your hand up on top of the ceiling like that and touch the sticker. And then right above that, 3 inches above that is the outside of the arch.
3.5.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 9. Yeah, so 3.5.
3.5.
So 3.5 inches. So there's really 3.5 inches
like
of skeleton from the inside wall to the outside of the arch.
We learned
and
something new at the
That
arch
was
this
pretty
time,
sweet.
so
So we've
that's
been up in the arch a number of times, but on this occasion, there was a ranger there that was sharing this bit of information.
So
And we picked that up.
now you know trivia. When you go up in the arch, you have to look up at the ceiling in the very center, and you'll see that sticker. So there's that one. And then we always like to, when we go up in the arch, to show people what it's like looking down. And that was Matt's view looking down, looking west from the arch out of the windows.
Yes.
And go ahead.
And this is interesting because the view from the top of the arch now is actually quite different from what it was, say, 5 years ago. Because you're looking down now, particularly at the lower half of this picture. So if you look in the middle vertically, you'll see a highway or a city street that is running northbound. It's running from left to right. And that street has been there for a while, but everything below that picture vertically is new green space that has recently been built.
This used to be highway.
Yeah,
Like-
at the very bottom of the picture where you see sort of the circle, actually in between
I'm trying to point.
Yeah. So you can see sort of the very bottom third on the left, a little bit of highway. That is now a bridge that's
walk
going over
Mm-hmm.
the interstate underneath. And that interstate is running north and south. So that work has been done within the past 5 years. And I've driven under that bridge any number of times. So, but it's all this wonderful green space on top that makes it super easy to get across the highway. So now you can park in downtown St. Louis, go grab a bite to eat, take a nice stroll over to the arch, go up in the arch, then you can look at this historic courthouse.
Yes, and these are people, by the way. One of the things that always that I remember when I go up in the arch is it's the tallest man-made structure in the U.S.
Which I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when we did that little trivia.
Oh,
quiz
yeah, yeah.
inside, I was shocked by that.
Yeah, interesting. And so, yeah, this is the tallest structure in the U.S. And I'm afraid of heights, but I did not have a problem with this, and I never have had a problem with this. My feet are on the ground.
Yeah.
It does sway a little bit with all
Which
the wind.
bothered you a little,
That
and it
did.
moves more than you'd think that it would too. Which
Mhm.
they warned us that it did. But once you're up there, if you're kind of stabilizing yourself, you can kind of lean into these little windows that are up there. You can feel it a lot more.
True.
Yeah.
True. We've got some comments on all of that. And it is great. Within hiking distance says it's great that they added more green space. Yes, it is. And the Arch Grounds, well, it reopened as a national park in July 3rd of 2018. And it's it's always had green space. I've always thought of it as a big park, but with adding the bit between that and the old courthouse, it really did add a lot more green space.
Yeah.
It flows a lot better
It
now
certainly
as
does.
well. You can enter from the west going east, and you get a great view of the arch as you walk east.
Mhm.
You can go north and south now and kind of go up and down the river. And if you happen to be starting from the river, on the east side, looking west, and you can get the just spectacular view as you journey westward, which is kind of the spirit of it, the monument for westward expansion.
So I guess what I would be interested to know is we took you to this national park for your very first time.
Yeah.
What were some of your takeaways as a national park? I mean, I know you've been to Yosemite and Kings Canyon and Sequoia and some of the ones out west. As a national park, what do you think?
I think the biggest thing or biggest takeaway that I have is it's more than meets the eye. A lot of people you'd see the arch and go, that's beautiful. And it's beautiful at every perspective. Every time we did we walked around, and every time we walked around, there's another picture, another opportunity. But there's so much beneath the arch to see. The museum space, there's a whole like food court kind of, a gift shop. It's just much larger than I thought it was going to be, and more to see down there.
Okay. Yeah.
The history's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought, well, for starters, probably there's a lot of, I hope I'm not sounding stupid, but I never knew you could go up in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never knew it was something you could go inside of. I thought it was just a monument or a, so that was interesting to me. But then just the history behind the
construction,
the area, the construction, some of the stuff that went along with the courthouse, all of that was tied very well into the national park experience.
Cohesive, yeah.
And it was, I mean, we learned a lot about some of the early slavery issues and some of the expansion to the west, and it was a lot to take in, and I could have probably spent 6 more hours there.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And so for those of you who are not aware, as part of this rebuilding effort, the museum underneath the arch was also completely redone. 5 years ago, the museum that was there is the same one that was there since the monument's basically the same thing since they built it. And it was getting very dated and a little bit run down. So now it's all new, it's modern, it's pretty dang impressive.
It really is. And as a teacher in the area, I'd taken like 3rd or 4th graders would get to go to the arch. And so I remember going with them and they the kids were never very impressed with it because they were old animatronics.
Right.
They were just mannequins that moved and they barked recordings at you. Now there's so much to do. It's such a kinesthetic museum. They can touch things, they can see things, and it's interactive. It's
very much. Yeah.
Not a $4 word again. But yeah, it's very interactive. And one of the things I learned this time was that St. Louis was not built it was built as a trade city instead of many of the cities were built as a religious center or places for, to spread the mission of Christianity across the country. Well, this was not.
All
It was,
about trade.
it was
right
all
on the
about trade.
river, gateway to the west.
Yeah. And so that was cool. Alpine Gulch says, yeah, I didn't know you could go to the top either. So you're not the
Thank
only
God,
one.
I'm not the
Yeah.
only
You're not the only one. It's so stupid. Yeah, I guess I knew because we moved here and we did it. So, what did you want to ask them about their experience?
Well, I don't know that I had any questions, but so we've had a blast of a weekend with our friends here. And we have gone not only to the Arch, which we only go to the Arch when we have guests as a rule, but we did get to take them to our favorite park, Klondyke Park. And the four of us do enjoy beer. So we went, how many breweries did we go to?
5.
Five
that we drank
breweries
at.
on Friday.
One was a tour.
Yeah,
Yes.
the AB tour.
Yep.
Yep, that was fun.
And so
learned a lot about beer and brewing yesterday.
Yes.
So that was fun.
So you don't see me
Yes.
drink too many AB InBev products on the show, but if you're in the area and you care about beer at all, go to Anheuser-Busch and get the Beer Master Tour because it's just amazing. The scale is just incredibly over the top. And whether you're a big fan of the beer or not, you got to respect the process and the precision engineering that goes into making their products. And that was a blast.
Yeah, it was really
It was
fun.
crazy. The
It was
amount of,
insane.
when you think about Budweiser being like this massive conglomerate all over the world and country, and then that most of it's being produced right here in this one plant, to see the speed that the bottles were being produced and capped and labeled, it was mesmerizing. It was mind blowing. So, and the history that was within the plant, and to see how they handled things during Prohibition, and I mean, it was just an amazing experience. Something I highly recommend to anybody. It was awesome.
Not 1 second of it was mundane. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't anything where I was sitting there going,
And our
I've
guide
heard
was
this
really
before.
nice. He was
Right.
really great. So that adds to it
Yep.
for sure.
And Laurie just posted a comment, and it does that is a good clarification that the Beer Master Tour is a paid tour. If you're not sure if you're going to enjoy it, take the free tour. You'll
There's
be with a
still a
bigger
lot to
crowd, but the shorter tour, the free tour is a little bit shorter, a little bit bigger crowd, but it's still a riot. And then there are some other tours that they offer as well.
Yeah, there was like about 6, I think. And the one we did was 2.5 hours long. So
Right.
it's a longer one. And if you're not as interested in beer, the brewing process of any kind, you just want to drink or just kind of want to walk around, it's not.
They have the horses.
Clydesdales. Yes.
Clydesdales. And it's a historic Clydesdale tour. So if you have kids or you just love horses but aren't into the beer, you can take the historic Clydesdale experience and get to go see the Clydesdales. And I think you even get a picture with one.
That's cool.
So, and the
Grant's Farm?
mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask about that because we have been to Grant's Farm
We
once
have.
upon a time. Is there Clydesdale
There are Clydesdales.
visibility there?
Yes, and that way you just pay the $5 to get into the parking lot, and you can just go and sit and talk to the Clydesdales all day and the little puppies and the stuff in the barn and all that stuff. But the barn that they have has Tiffany glass in it and a chandelier from the 1904 World's Fair.
Yeah.
And it's just, when you were talking about the tack, go ahead, I'll let you talk about it.
The tack is ornate and beautiful, polished leather, and it's just everything is precise and regimented, and
The care. For
the
horses
care
is
that goes into these
amazing.
horses, and like the amount of thought that they put into taking care of these horses, the amount of time they spend locked in their trailers when they're traveling, or
Right, only 5
amount of-
hours of travel a day, and,
You know,
or
the-
500 miles.
500 miles.
500
That's right.
miles, which is nothing for a horse, and the amount of teams that go with these horses on their travels and stuff like that, they're very, very well taken care of. It's funny, the stable that they said, and I can't remember when it was built, but it was before the 50s, I think.
Mhm.
When they built the stable, they said it was $35,000
Yeah.
to build the stable.
Yeah.
And at that time frame that it was built, I mean, you can do the math, but that's ridiculously expensive now.
Worth more
There's
than I am.
ornate chandeliers from the World's Fair in there, and,
Yeah.
and just beautiful Anheuser-Busch tack, and then of course the horses themselves were amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it
are
is.
amazing.
That is definitely incredible. And thinking about, effectively a horse barn that's got Tiffany glass and an ornate chandelier is just kind of mind-boggling
Well, they had the-
by itself.
They had the beer trailers or the wagons, the beer wagons
Yeah.
there, and they're huge. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
they are.
everything's over the top, and it's definitely worth going and seeing, you know. And I'm glad that we got to take you
Yeah, it
because
was
that
awesome.
that was something that we really wanted to do. All right, next question for you guys. You've been to Missouri twice.
Yep.
And met us both times. The first time we met was in person and down at Johnson Shut-ins, and some of our audience has been to Johnson Shut-ins, and some have seen our pictures and things. And now you've seen the city, or a city here. What are your takeaways from Missouri compared to Michigan, where you live?
It's from the standpoint of weather.
Yeah.
It's extremely hot in the summertime, whereas we don't get the humidity and the heat in the summer. Your weather from the winter, you don't get necessarily the snow that we do, but you get crazy amounts of rain, which can potentially turn to freezing rain at any
Lots
moment.
of
Which
ice,
is
yeah.
so from the weather standpoint, it's an interesting dynamic there. The land itself, I didn't realize that cedar trees were a problem as much as
They're invasive species.
Invasive species.
Yeah.
Here, but I always thought they were beautiful, and I'm looking around and they're all over the place here. The woods are gorgeous. It's a lot more rocky
That's
and
what I was going to say.
mountainous than I think I would expect, or
Fluffy.
fluffy
Fluffy.
than I would
Yes.
expect. Whereas Michigan has a lot of part of the state is definitely got a lot of bluffs and rocks and formations. The UP pictured rocks and that sort of thing is definitely hilly and full of formations, but not like here. In fact, the people down below where we live, we call them flatlanders because it's just kind of flat. farmland.
Okay.
So that's kind of when I thought about Missouri originally, that's kind of what you think about, because you come out of Illinois, which is mostly just after Chicago, flat.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you kind of run into that here, but then it turns into very beautiful scenery. So
Cool.
Like you said everything I was going to say. The only thing that I guess, which I've mentioned a number of times this weekend, is, and this is just a very small detail, but the salt. I'll just say that.
Oh.
Yeah, because
On
they
the roads.
prepare. Yeah, they're. I know it seems like a silly thing to say, but everything I was gonna say, Dana said. So this is all I have. The salt is like teal. They put a ton of it down to prepare for weather conditions, and
Mhm.
we use sand up north,
Sand.
and it's
Mhm.
just the roads were like glowing blue, and I'm like, what is that? And then Jay had to tell me like, oh well, we're gonna get ice, and no one's gonna be on the road, and it's too
Right.
cold, and it was funny to me. Just some of it's just cultural differences.
Laurie says Missouri is fluffy.
Fluffy.
Not fluffy.
Fluffy.
Fluffy. That's hilarious. Arizona Timeless Tourist, it's good to see you. And Budget Bushcraft and RV Life, it's great to see you as well. Fluffy. That's, J Reed Outdoors says, love me some Michigan. My wife and I did the UP and came down the coast of Lake Michigan back to Illinois a few years ago. Really enjoyed it.
Very nice.
Yeah,
That's a good trip.
That is a good trip. And Laurie said the range on my hike today said that the trees were labeled as cedar. Here are actually junipers. That could have been those berries that you were.
the toxic berries.
The
Trying to
toxic.
lick.
Do not eat the berries. It's been no fun. Laurie says, "Oh, Bluffy!" as we scream it at her.
She felt so attacked in that moment.
Sorry, Laurie. Sorry. She's probably like, ah. Yeah, they probably
No.
could be juniper
Laura's probably
trees.
laughing so hard she's almost crying right
She
now.
probably is. There's probably tears coming down her face. Well, we've had a super good weekend. And do you want to add anything else? Because I don't have any trivia this week. I will have trivia next week. I'll plan for it.
No, I don't think I have anything excessive to add. It's 8:44. We've had a wonderful time. So we want to thank our guests, Dana and Eileen, the Beerbellied Travelers. And we would like to thank you, our audience, for joining us this evening. And we'd like to thank you for your participation and your support.
Mhm.
And we look forward to seeing you next week.
And I'll have some trivia. Remember to come back and leave a comment so that you can be in for the prize at the end of the year. And that also lets YouTube know that we're doing something that you like. So, and if you haven't already, hit that like button. And until next time.
Cheers.
Oh, we need our cheers
Say my
glasses.
cheers.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right. Cheers,
Cheers, y'all.
everybody. Thanks for coming.